What is happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining our channel, eLearning Simplified, that is powered by eLearning Partners. And today, it's both co-founders, Hector Samudis, and over here,
I'm Johnny Hayden. And today we are talking about how can I, as in you, improve employee training at my, as in your, company.
Boom. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. But before we do, we have a free giveaway. So make sure that you stay till the end of this video for this amazing giveaway that we want to give to you.
We're gonna break this question down into two pieces. The first one are the biggest challenges that your employees are having. That is key number one. Key number two is making sure that you have a business plan for your e-learning, for your training, so you can execute it, so that you can provide remarkable value to your employees. So let's kick it off.
So many times we have worked with a lot of companies where they're already producing a lot of stellar content. However, they're finding that the engagement of their employees is not where they want it to be. Yeah. And they scratch their head and they question why. Why is that going on?
And sometimes they put GoPros in refrigerators.
And sometimes they do put GoPros in refrigerators. A story for another time, my friends. So how can I improve employee training at my company? Pump the brakes. Just take a breather, pause. Many times when we get into desperation mode, if you will, we just start producing content. We just start pacing things, throwing money at things, trying to do anything that we can to get employees to engage. Going to that story,
like putting a GoPro in a fridge.
Like putting a GoPro in a fridge.
Legitimately, there's this massive company that was struggling with this very thing, improving their employee training and trying to engage their employees. And we kid you not, their go-to solution, because they exhausted everything else, except what we're going to tell you today, is putting GoPros in their refrigerators so that they could get reactions from their employees going into the refrigerator, whatever. Crazy. But really what you need to do is, as Hector said, pump the brakes and then focus on the biggest challenges that your employees are having. If you did this alone, you will improve your training. So what do we do with those biggest challenges, Hector?
So with those biggest challenges, again.
Well, how do we figure them out too?
Absolutely.
How do we figure it out?
How do we figure it out? Ask your learners by strategic interviews. Now, here's the thing with challenges.
You have to interview. You can't just send out a survey. Now, if you have thousands and thousands of employees, well, there's ways to do it. You can send out something we call a video ask. So go to videoask.com. We actually have a link in the description below as well. And you can use video ask to get human to human interaction, answers to your questions, to your survey questions, by recording a video and having your interviewee, your employee, your team member respond via video. So that is one way to do it. But the best way is, at the very least, take a handful of employees and interview them and ask them, what are the biggest challenges you're having at work today?
So when you collect all of that data, you're going to see a lot of different challenges. But what we tell everybody, we don't care if you have an internal team that is handling your e-learning, that is 100 employees or just one employee. We just want to focus on the number one challenge, not 10, not 15, not 25, not Sally and Paul and Joe work on one and Kelly and Sandy work on it. We're all focusing on one.
And the reason why you want to do this is because all of us want to create a massive e-learning program, right? We want to solve all the problems that our organization has today. Or just a massive training program, right? We're like, oh, well, we want to fix this and this and this. Well, really all you need to fix to start is the biggest challenge your employees are having. So if that is just using your basic systems to provide services to your clients, then tackle that. Maybe the biggest challenge that your organization has and your employees have is closing sales and like the process of actually doing that. So tackle that. Just start with one create amazing content, remarkable content, answer that challenge, actually provide a solution to that challenge, and then roll that part of your program out. After you get that number one challenge is to actually create content around it so you can test it from your learners. And all this is part of your e-learning business plan.
And I'll add one more quick thing. After you identify that challenge, Johnny's gonna break into it right now. Don't start just creating content. Again, this is a big thing that we see all the time, not just with small companies, but with big companies. When we're talking about big companies, we're talking about companies that are over 5,000 employees in the Fortune level, where they just start creating content because they get in desperation mode. There's no need to get into desperation mode, because by following this process, you will get the results that you are looking for. So we're not creating content after we identify that challenge. We're about to break it down into that business plan.
So what you're really doing is you're focusing on the challenges. You want to figure out what those challenges are. Then you come up with what is the biggest challenge. And then with that biggest challenge, you are going to build an e-learning business plan. And another name for this, because we don't want you to have to think, oh my God, we have to build a 100-page business plan about our e-learning or our training. No, you don't. All you need to do is build something very similar to a business model canvas, or what we call a minimum viable course, or you can call it curriculum. If I spelled that wrong, well, you know what? You're getting the message. So MVC. So this is also called the MVC. So MV, and then we got our C's right here. If you want access to that MVC, all you have to do is sign up for that free masterclass, and you will get an email in the next week with a downloadable link to the MVC, and then you can create your business plan right there. It is amazing. We've been using the MVC, or the e-learning business plan, with our clients for the last decade to build out high quality business plans for e-learning programs all around the number one challenge that our clients and partners, learners have. So the three pillars that make up the business plan are as follows. The first one is content. The second one is technology. And the third one is distribution.
And remember, these are pillars, not steps. We're building these at the same time.
And we call this CTD. It's a great box here. But CTD, that's how you remember it. Out of the three, what you need to focus on immediately after you figure out this challenge is distribution. Especially when you're building an internal program to train employees, because you could spend a bunch of time building the content, picking the perfect technology, or trying to get the technology you already have to work, but not have a distribution plan in place, or never actually engage. So distribution, or engaging employees, that's what this really is. When you're distributing to your employees, you're figuring out how to engage your employees in your program. I mean, there's no point in building it. There's no point in building the program, tackling that biggest challenge, if you don't have a distribution plan. So that's why the MVC and building this business plan is so important. And the most important part about it, because once you've identified the biggest challenge, what you've really done is you've identified your PLP. And your PLP is your perfect learner profile. We don't define learners based on demographics. What do we define them on, Hector?
Challenges. Challenges. We define PLPs based on challenges, because PLPs are going through a challenge that the course or courses that you're creating are going to solve those challenges.
Exactly. So if you create that content that solves the challenge, but your learners or your employees never use it, then what's the point? So what you want to do is focus on building a distribution strategy. And the distribution plan needs to have a feedback mechanism. Because yes, we're going to be interviewing PLPs, our learners, to identify that challenge, but we want to make sure that that challenge that we identified is right. Okay, so that's why what you want to do is figure out distribution. Part of that is bringing your learners into the creation of the content and the technology. And by doing that, you are going to be integrating this feedback piece. And when you do that, what you've really done is now we've gone full circle and we've gone from challenges to biggest challenge to business plan. And now we go back to feedback. And now we're testing to make sure that we got the challenges correct.
And remember, everybody, PLPs influence the content pillar, influence the technology pillar, and influence the distribution pillar. Your PLPs should always be at the decision-making table. If they are ever lost in one of these three key pillars, it's like a three-legged stool, it will come crumbling down. Make sure your learners are always involved, because if they're not, you're gonna find yourself in a spot that we don't want you to be in, which is questioning why all the time and money and effort your team and your subject matter experts have poured into isn't paying off the way that you wanted to pay off. Make sure your PLPs are at the decision-making table, because they are the center. It is what holds the infrastructure of these three pillars and these three pillars together.
Here's what we went over. Okay, we talked about how we need to pump the brakes, and then we need to identify those challenges. From there, we went to the next step of our process, which is identifying the number one challenge that our employees and team members are facing. Then from that, we're gonna build a business plan. So that's number three. We're gonna build a business plan focused on content, technology, and distribution, most importantly, distribution. And then we're gonna make sure that our PLPs, our learners, are involved in all of this, just like Hector said right here. And that brings us to the feedback mechanism, which is number 4 that we learned today. And then this full circle comes back to challenges, because once you build out one challenge into an e-learning program, you've gotten feedback, you've engaged your learners, you're actually getting that employee engagement because you've distributed your e-learning successfully. Now you go and we start over by getting the second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. challenges. Each challenge got that plan, feedback, it's a circle. So that's what we learned today. And if you want help with this, we actually have the perfect masterclass for you, and it's linked in the description below, and it's free, and you will get instant and immediate access. And our masterclass is actually all about defining what the biggest challenges your learners have. Because when you define those biggest challenges, you are able to build a successful training program, a successful e-learning program every single time. Every program you build on challenges will be successful. And we have an entire process for you that you can access immediately. That means right now, by signing up for our free masterclass just with your email and the link right below this video.
Make sure to sign up for that free masterclass, instant access, and subscribe to the channel. Give us a big thumbs up,
And we'll see you in the next video.